and welcome to this edition of HCISD Highlight. I'm Devin Torres, and today we are visiting with the Harlingen High School South wrestling team. With me today is Coach Jaime Salazar. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's good to be here.
How long has this sport been at South?
We're going into our third year. Inaugural season was 3 years ago, so third year coming into it and going strong.
Okay, nice. How can wrestlers balance wrestling with other things in life?
You know, wrestling is one of those things. I've always said it's a great sport because you're doing a one-to-one. You're really, you have somebody in front of you, but you're really battling yourself and your mind and your will and how much grit you have and what you're going to put out. So I think it helps you with a lot of adversities that you'll face in life because you're going to go through a lot of that during wrestling, and you got to battle through that in order to be successful in the sport.
Okay, very interesting, very interesting. Is this sport just for boys?
No, definitely not. I mean, yes, boys come in and they're known to be, rough around the edges. They're like the contact and stuff. But there's some boys that come in timid, just as there's girls that are also rough, and there's some girls that come in, just like you're going to see here in a moment with Bianca, that they've never done any type of contact sport before. They've never been in a competition sport. And it just teaches them the things that we instill here at Harlingen CISD, and we want them to become, the best version of themselves, not only on the professional side, but also, give themselves challenges, put them in adversities that they can, overcome any type of fears that they may have later on in their life. And this is a perfect sport to teach that.
Nice, you love to hear it. What competitions do you have coming up?
Here coming up, we have the Lisa Torres tournament over in Mission. We just started our tournament play this past week. Our boys won first place, just overpowered the competition when our girls placed third place. Haley Torres, who will be coming up here in a moment, got MVP of the meet. So we're doing well right now at this point, and our tournament play is coming. We're going to have some big ones to kind of see where we're at before we get to regionals and district.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you.
Up next, we have a wrestling student. Joining me today is a wrestling student. Today I'm here with
Zion Vasquez.
Okay, Zion, what makes a good wrestler?
I would say something that makes a good wrestler is someone who has good motivation to train wrestling and some good discipline to it.
Okay. And how intense can practice get?
Practice can be intense for you because it's a lot of wear on your body and it's pretty hard and it gets you tired.
And what was the most challenging thing you've learned during wrestling?
I'll say one of the most challenging things I learned from wrestling is having really good discipline, because wrestling is a really hard sport for some people.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. Up next with another wrestling student. Joining me now is
Haley Torres.
So since you've been here since year one, throughout the years, how have you grown as a wrestler?
To start off, my first year, it was really rough. I started off with no wins at all, no wins. I would always get pinned, but going into my second year, I was undefeated for around 3 or 4 tournaments, and I only experienced 3 losses last year. And going into this year, I remain undefeated. It takes a lot of heart to be in this sport, a lot of training, and I've experienced a lot of growth as a team and as a person. Wrestling as a sport, it really has helped me as a person. It's grown me, not just in the sport, but outside of the sport.
So heading into 2025, what are some of the goals you have set?
My goal is to make it a state. Last year, I made it a region, but I unfortunately got hurt. I train outside of school and in school. I work really hard for this, and I'm hoping to make it a state this year and place.
Joining me today is a wrestling student. Today I'm here with
Bianca Roman.
Bianca, do wrestlers need to lose weight, and what are some personal hygiene issues?
Okay, so there's a common misconception that people do need to lose weight, but I suggest as a first-year wrestler, you stay at your natural weight and go from there. And for personal hygiene, ringworm is kind of common in the mats, but as long as you take a shower after practice and keep up with your regular hygiene, it should be fine.
Okay, very interesting. And why did you join the wrestling team?
I joined wrestling mainly because I had never been in a contact sport before, and I thought it would be fun to try it out and kind of have some more discipline in my life, and that's basically it.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
That wraps up this edition of HCISD Highlight. Until next time, I'm Devin Torres.